Call the meeting to order. The agenda, Oromocto Town Council meeting, regular session Thursday, October 16th, 2025 at 5:31 PM at the Oromocto Municipal Building. I'll ask for a mover. Thank you, Councilor Kirkbride. Seconder, Deputy Mayor Maloney. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Is there any disclosure of interest? Councilor Kirkbride?
Thank you, Worship. I'll be stepping out for item E, the computerized water network hydraulic model. It does some commercial.
Okay, no problem. All right, we'll move down to the mayor's comments, and I've only have two tonight, and both sad ones. Sadly, the town of Oromocto has lost two employees. One that was working with us currently and Noseworthy, and another one that was retired that's been working with us since 1973, and then he come back and work part-time, and that with John Gillen. And John, Councilor Kirkbride just came back from his funeral and his expression of life. So we've lost two really hard-working employees. They'll be really missed. So we want to send the condolences out to both the families. All right, we'll take the adoption of the minutes. The Oromocto Town Council regular session, September 18th, 2025 at 5:30 PM at the Oromocto Municipal Building. I'll ask for a mover. Councilor Doss, seconder. Councilor Henry, questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. There's no petitions, presentations, or delegations, so we'll move right down to the councilors' reports. We'll start with 7A, the Capital Region Service Commission, and that's my first one. The Capital Service Committee met, it was a public safety meeting in New Maryland on October 14th and went from 6 to 8 o'clock. We had the Robert Govan, the minister. He was there with some aides with him, and it was an open discussion. We had firemen, policemen there. We had everybody from all the zones, and it was a really good discussion. It was better than the ones we used to have. So it went off pretty good. Then on the 15th, which was the next day, I had the public safety meeting, which I'm part of that committee. We met at 1 o'clock and discussed all the things going on, and plus we planned on what the public safety meetings for the next 6 months. So, all right. We'll move down to 7A1, and that's the Regional Development Committee with Councilor Dunn.
No, I think Your Worship, I think Jillian had that down wrong. She's the community development.
Community
maybe.
development.
Okay. Development Regional.
I think there's one in there. Right.
Well, we have an extra one. Do you want to discuss it? We'll move on to 7A2, the Economic Expansion Committee with Deputy Mayor Maloney.
Thank you, Your Worship. On September 22nd, the Economic Expansion Committee and the Community Development Committee met via Zoom to discuss, so Councilor Don and I were both on that call, to discuss some of the initiatives that the Capital Region Services Commission is having in regards to physician recruitment. They talked about some of the barriers, some of the current bottlenecks in the system in terms of where were the deficiencies, some of the things that needed to be done in generalities. However, near the end of the presentation, many of the community members said that presentation lacked details in terms of how do you actually recruit a doctor to, let's say, Nakarek or to Minto or to Grand Lake, where there is such a need for doctors everywhere. So although there was a lot of good information in general, it lacked some of the specifics. So the committee tasked them to go back, look at it again, and bring back a version 2 of the presentation with more substantiated metrics in there of what we could actually attain and how we're going to attain.
Okay. Now we'll move on to 7A3, the Community Development with Councilor Philip.
Thank you, Your Worship. We met on October the 14th. I did it by Zoom, And just a few items from the agenda. The 8 initiatives approved by the Community Development Committee for 2025 that align with the region's strategic plan are advancing as planned. These initiatives support local organization in organizational resilience and development and delivery of social services. Lisa Moran gave an update on each of the initiatives, and I want to particularly note the one, number 7, it's the grant writing workshop. It was presented by Porter O'Brien on March the 20th, as well as a course on financial sustainability, best practices for not-for-profits and charities in today's world. It was such a success that they are going to offer it again. And number 4, which is the Community Connectors Workshop. At least 8 workshops in the Community Connectors, that's 211, has been held in various communities within our region with researcher Lynn Roulette. And this project ensures that citizens are better equipped and motivated to help people needing support in their communities through a coordinated access to service. That's that one that I brought forward quite a few months ago about connecting and where they call and all the different services that are available. We had an update on the Capital Regency network given by Carrie Bedford. She does that monthly. And Lisa Moran talked about the forums that are going to be happening or taking place in 2026. And John and Lisa shared additional information on the 211 promotion. So they're really lending to that so that it's getting out and about in all the communities. The group talked about the upcoming elections. We sort of brainstormed on ideas on how to promote resources and other useful information for an individual considering running to be a candidate. So I believe there'll probably be more to follow on that.
Right, okay. We'll move on to 7B, the Planning and Advisory Committee with Councillor Carr.
Thank you, Your Worship. The committee met last month and discussed a few things. Approved was a variance for parking at the former Anderson Insurance Building, which will soon host a counseling service that I believe is currently in our community, but in a different location. And it denied an application for variance for building a garage in a backyard, side yard, and moving of a shed to a front/side yard. And we also are seeing a member, Zatoon Anwar, move to a new community. So we would just like to thank her for her service and being a member of our planning advisory committee for at least the last several years. I'm not sure exactly how many, but she's been a great member of the committee and we'll miss her.
Right on. Okay. Move to 7C, the Library Committee with Councillor Dodd.
Thank you, Worship. We met on October the 16th at the library. Excuse me, we met on September the 23rd at the library at 6:30, and just a few items from that meeting. The library held an open house on September the 27th. It was a very successful barbecue with a good turnout of families. A lot of new families were there, of course, with the posting and happening. And they said, of course, I was chatting them up and I asked them how they heard about it and what it is they liked about it. And they said that when they move from place to place, it's one of the first things they go to find out what's happening in their communities. And they particularly enjoyed all the activities that our library has to offer for free. That's good to know. Christian Sheridan always goes over her director's report, and I have attached it. And we reviewed, of course, the proposed library budget for 2026. We had a very successful plant sales, so the monies from that was approved to buy new books, about $1,000 worth. And also we approved the purchase of prizes for the October Canadian Library Month, the running contests. And the next library board meeting is November the 25th.
Right on. Next, we'll go to the Oromocto Area Chamber of Commerce with Councillor Dodd again.
Thank you, Worship. We met on October the 8th and of October. Did I say September? I must want that nice weather back. We met on October the 8th downstairs at 8 o'clock. And we did our AGM first. The financial report was presented and noted that the Chamber's fiscal year change will be running from January to December. So there will be another presentation of the financial report in January 2026. They presented the slate of directors, ratified bylaw changes. And they reviewed the highlights for 24-25, noting the development of the members program, members referral program, the new website, the chamber's procedures manual, and the business awards nomination protocol. And the chamber has added a not-for-profit business award for the 2026 business award dinner. And then we went right into our meeting and we reviewed the outstanding items for September. And we are going to purchase the new executive assistant a laptop or computer. Approve the purchase of tickets for the Fredericton Awards dinner so we can have representation from the Oromocto Chamber at the Fredericton Awards dinner. And then, of course, they want, as all the changeovers happen, their new bios and updates of each of the directors sent in so they can post it on their website, things like that. And the next board meeting is November the 12th. And our next AGM is January the 14th, 2026.
Okay, thank you. And the last one, the Oromocto Pioneer Gardens Committee with Deputy Mayor Maloney.
Thank you, Richard. We actually had our last meeting yesterday. It was a short meeting. They are now in the process of doing all of their fall cleanups and getting ready for winterizing the cemetery for the winter. The cemetery is officially closing, if I recall correctly, November 21st, which is about a week and a half after Remembrance Day. And the last project that they are kind of trying to tidy up is their new columbarium. If you drive by the cemetery now, there's a big hole. And they're waiting for delivery on their new columbarium. So it may arrive this fall, but it may not arrive until the spring, depending on whether or not the base is going to be ready for that columbarium. So all in all, they did want us to convey that they very much appreciate the help of the town in any way, as we have provided over the years. They are an autonomous organization that does a lot of great work for this community. They do have to make sure that they're bringing in more money than they're spending. They maintain their books very well, and their sales have been good in the sense that there are a lot of people who are pre-planning and not waiting for the eventuality. So that was our meeting as of yesterday.
They got a good committee and they work hard and they do a great service for the town, for sure. All right, we'll move down to, there's no consideration of bylaws, so we'll move to 9, the unfinished business, there is none. We'll move down to 10, the new business. We'll start with 10A, the policy amendments with Councillor Murdoch.
Thank you, Motion. Resolved that the workplace wellness policy and training and development policy be amended as reviewed in council and committee on Wednesday, October 8, 2025. I so move.
Call for seconder, Councillor Daw. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move down to 10B, the adoption of the recreation master plan with Councillor Henry.
Thank you, Worship. Be resolved that council adopt the recreation master plan as presented by Jim Scott of Trace Planning and Design on Wednesday, 8 October 2025.
Call for seconder, Councillor Kirkbride. Questions? Favor? Contrary? Questions, Councillor Bundicker?
Thank you, Your Worship. Just want to say that as a counselor for Oromocto, I thought it was a very well written report, very detailed. But as a counselor for the ward of Lincoln, I thought it was very much lacking. Not much opportunities in the ward, only 2 things, item either one owned by the municipality. As a result, I will not be supporting the.
Okay. Put it on the record. Thank you. All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move to 10C, the Royal Bank of Canada interim financing with Councillor Kirkbride.
Thank you, Worship. Be resolved, the mayor and chief administrative officer be authorized to enter into an interim financing agreement with the Royal Bank of Canada on capital projects. I so move.
Call for seconder, Deputy Member Winnie. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. We move now to the request for proposal awards, construction management services, or WRC, Council Von Victor.
Thank you, Your Worship. Be it resolved that Lindsay Construction Limited be awarded the contract for phase 1 pre-construction management services for the Oromocto Regional Wellness and Recreation Center in the amount of $75,000 plus HST. I so move.
Call for secondary, Counselor Henry? Questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. Move to 10E, the computerized water network hydraulic model proposal with Counselor Carr.
Your worship, be it resolved that the proposal from EXP Services Inc. in the amount of $50,000 plus HSD for the provision of the computerized water model be accepted. Funding for this project to be provided from within sewer capital account number 70100-30-8005 as budgeted. I submit.
Call for seconder, Council Wayman. Questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. Move to 10F, the hiring of holiday relief firefighter with Councilor Murdoch.
Thank you. Be it resolved that Hayden, how do you say his last?
Silica.
Silica?
Silica.
Be it resolved that Hayden Silica be hired as a holiday relief firefighter following the successful competition of his orientation and assessment period. I so move.
Call for seconder, Deputy Member Winnie. Questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. And the last one, 10G, the capital promotion with Councilor Wayman.
Your worship, be it resolved that Lieutenant Chris Bamford be promoted to the position of captain within the Oromocto Fire Department effective 17 October 2025.
Call for seconder, Councilor Murdoch. All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. So now I'll call for an adjournment, so I'll need a mover, Deputy Member Winnie, seconder, Councilor Whalen. Questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried.